Used to be together, you and I together always. Welcome, people. Welcome back to another Daily Gaffer. I had to change my surroundings today because, for the first time, I actually had time to record one of these. Sorry about that. Believe it or not, I usually record these either in the dead of night before bed or first thing in the morning, which explains some of my quote-unquote questionable takes. But we move. Welcome to the Daily Gaffer. I am your host, Wrong and Strong, 1/4 of the Armchair Gaffers quartet. 1/4 of the quartet. For those of you new to Armchair Gaffers and who discovered us via the Daily Gaffer, this is not the bread and butter of Armchair Gaffers. Our bread and butter is actually our podcast, which comes out every Monday morning, rain, sleet or snow, where we cover all things Premier League. And as of next week, our Continental Corner, aka the Conti Corner, is back in full effect. That's where we cover all things European, and now we also cover the SPL. That's right, the Saudi Arabian Premier League. Today's segment is about the Ballon d'Or. It seems to be a straight shootout between Leonardo Armando Messi, it's not his name, Leo Messi, and Erling Braut Haaland. I'm going to run through all the nominees, all 30 that have been shortlisted. Also going to give you the criteria of the Ballon d'Or and try and figure out who should win the Ballon d'Or based on those things there. Before I continue, bit of housekeeping, guys. Help your boys, pardon me, on their way to 5,000 subscribers by, if you like this video, subscribe. If you don't like it, get in the comments and let us know about ourselves, because we can't be getting away with murder, okay? So if we say things you don't agree with, because obviously you know more than us or me, so let us know where we've gone wrong and subscribe anyway after that, and like the video. Help us fight Al Gore and his terrible rhythms. Put this on silent because it's just bad manners to not. Okay, let's get it. The 30 person, can I call them men? The 30 person 2023 Ballon d'Or nominees are Josko Grivaldo, Andre Onana, Karim Benzema, Jamal Musiala, Mohamed Salah, Jude Bellingham, Bukayo Saka, Randall Kolo Muani, KDB, Bernardo Silva, Kivishka Kvaratskhelia, Emiliano Martinez, Ruben Diaz, Nicola Barella, Erling Braut Haaland, Yassine Bonu from Al Hilal, okay, Martin Odegaard, Julian Alvarez, Ilkay Gundogan, Vinicius Jr., Robert Lewandowski, Antoine Griezmann, Lautaro Martinez, Lionel Messi, Rodri, Kylian Mbappe, Kim Min-jae, Victor Osimhen, Luka Modric, and Harry Kane. Those are the nominees. I guess the only surprises for me is that there's no Bruno Fernandes or Marcus Rashford. I feel like they both had decent seasons last year. But aside from that, there's no one else who springs to mind. Now, guys, to help us figure out, because I have actually thought who should win the Ballon d'Or this year. Like I said, it seems like a straight shootout between Lionel Messi and Erling Braut Haaland. But before I continue, let me give you guys the criteria. So you may or may not be aware that as of 2020, so the winning players of the Ballon d'Or are voted for by a panel of journalists. Starting in 2020, votes are limited to the top 100 countries in the FIFA rankings for men and the top 50 for women. So the voting criteria as of 2020 has been updated to focus on three main factors. The primary criteria is a player's individual performance in the previous season. Okay, guys, it's very key now. It's the player's individual performance in the previous season. And it's no longer awarded by calendar year. Okay, forget calendar years. We're now working by seasons. So the 23 season is the season that we're voting for this year. I say we, the journalists that matter. And you can no longer factor in career success. Okay? So forget what happened the year before and before that and before that. It's just the previous season that matters. So who was the best individual player last season? Very important for us to remember that. The other factors considered are team success during the previous season, as well as player behavior and fair play. So the primary factor is individual success. However, team success is also a factor. The main question I've seen on Twitter on X this last week is if Messi scored, was it like 60 GA and won the treble, and Haaland had won the World Cup with Messi's stats, who would you give the Ballon d'Or to? And the answer is Messi. If Messi had scored and assisted what Haaland had done in the previous season, it wouldn't even be up for debate. However, Messi does seem to get preferential treatment. For the hell of it, I hate stats, but this is an award that's based around individual performance. So let's look at what Messi done last season. So in Liga, Uber Eats, 32 appearances, 16 goals, 16 assists. Pretty impressive. In the Champions League, 7 appearances, 4 goals, 4 assists. And the Trophy de Champion, 1 game, 1 goal. So that's a total of... They've included some MLS games here. They've included 11 MLS games. So in 41... I got to minus all these other goals. Basically, 16 goals and assists in the league, 16 goals and 16 assists in the league, so 32 GA, and 8 GA in the Champions League, so 40 GA in 26. In 20? It's pretty good. Am I reading this right? I am reading it right. No, there we go, 39. There we go, 39 appearances. Sorry, guys, having a little bit of a brain malfunction. I'm not used to reading off the laptop like someone else on the podcast. So in 39 Champions League and league games, he has got 20 goals and 20 assists. Very impressive. Erling Haaland, on the other hand, I'm going to just do all these stats because none of his games were in the MLS. So he had 53 appearances, 52 goals, 9 assists. Now, for me, that is Ballon d'Or material. The only problem with Haaland, which I think is his biggest downfall, is that when it comes to the art of football, I don't know how to say this without getting backlash. When it comes to the art of football, Erling Haaland isn't very good. He has improved, but last season at Man City, when he first joined, it was very ugly. It wasn't pretty to watch. Nonetheless, he scores goals, and a lot of them. So, is it fair to just rate him on his goals? I think the answer is yes, because that's what he's here to do, to put the ball in the back of the net, and he does that. Messi also does it. It just looks a lot better the way that he does it. So between the two of those two players, Messi or Haaland, my vote would have to be for Haaland. He was phenomenal. Not only was his goal record ridiculous, had a decent number of assists as well. And the criteria for the Ballon d'Or says that it's based on individual performance. And individually, Haaland outperformed Messi. And not only that, he also done it in a league which has got a higher coefficient. I don't think any other player could be in the Farmers League and be a favourite to win the Ballon d'Or with Messi's stats. It's only Messi that can get that kind of treatment. So we've got to put that into account. What I would like to do as well, before I wrap up and say that Haaland should win, I want to look at the power rankings based on goal.com, and maybe there's someone that we've missed, someone else who deserves to be in the really in the conversation. So Goal.com have Messi as a favourite. 2022-23. It says 42 goals, 26 assists, 1 World Cup, League One, and the Trophy de Champions. Haaland, 56 goals, 9 assists, won the Premier League, Champions League, and FA Cup. Third place, they have Kylian Mbappe. Wow, I didn't know this. So, Kylian Mbappe has 55 goals and 14 assists last season. That is crazy. That's 69 GA. And he won the French League as well. So, I mean, if playing in the French League and winning the French League is good enough for Messi to be considered a genuine candidate, why does the same not apply to Ballon, to Kylian Mbappe? And if you ask me, the thing that Mbappe has in his favour is that when it comes to the art of football and the sport of football, he's actually better than Haaland. Obviously not as good as Messi, but nobody is. But Mbappe could at least be in the same conversation as Messi, or maybe just the step below. And he scores as many goals as Haaland. 55 goals. Let me just double check this. 55 goals, 14 assists. Haaland got 56 goals, 9 assists. So Mbappe got 1 less goal and 6 more assists. He won the league just like Haaland, but Haaland also won the Champions League and the FA Cup. How has Messi won the Trophy to Champions and Mbappe hasn't? So they didn't put that down. So Mbappe won 2 trophies, Haaland won 3. If you ask me, Mbappe is looking like a serious candidate for the Ballon d'Or. Vinny Jr. is in 4th place according to Goal.com. KDB is in 5th. In terms of his influence on the team, I think that's enough to put KDB higher in the ranking. 10 goals, 10 goals and 32 assists, and won the treble. See, for me, that puts him higher than Vinicius Jr. in the rankings, and probably as high as, if not higher than Kylian Mbappe in 3rd. 6th, we have Rodri, who again treble winner, 4 goals, 7 assists. I don't think that's enough individuality, although it's not just about goals and assists. I remember, guys, back in the olden days, we didn't actually have, I was going to say we didn't have stats, but back in my day, we didn't have numbers. The only numbers we had were goals. We didn't even have assists back in the olden days. It was just goals. Assists are a new thing for people of my generation. And I feel like if Rodri had performed like this for Juventus back in 2000, 2002, he would be a serious candidate. Whenever Nedved won the Ballon d'Or, Rodri is as good as that and as influential as that, in my opinion. Ilkay Gundogan, another one. Had this been 20 years ago, he would be a serious candidate now, but because of the goals and assisting that we live in, the goals and assist generation, XG generation that we live in, it's very difficult to look at players that aren't scoring loads of goals. Talking about players that are scoring loads of goals, number 8 in the power rankings, according to Goal.com, is Victor Osimhen, who won the Scudetto, had 33 goals and 5 assists, and was super influential for a Napoli team that claimed their first Scudetti in, I think it's over 30 years, maybe 20 years. I don't think it's 20, I think it's actually 30 years, maybe even longer. So he needs to be considered. Julian Alvarez is number 9. I'm not too sure. People like him. I'm not convinced yet. Then you got Lewandowski in 10th. Guys, aside from Haaland and Messi, I think the only genuine candidates for me are Osimhen, Mbappe, and KDB. Those are my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think. This has been a very brief Daily Gaffer. Tomorrow I'll be back with some stuff about England, I believe. It is international break. Not tomorrow. Who knows? I literally decide what I'm going to talk about like an hour before I do this, which explains some of the things that I say. You know what's crazy? You guys may not agree with me all the time, and that's fine, because guess what? After I say this stuff and I look back at it, I wholly agree with me. So and feel free to comment and say what you want, because I have very although it may look very smooth and luxurious, my skin is very thick as well. So yeah, just feel free to speak your speaks, and I will see you guys on the other side. Peace out.